The meeting of the Dudley-Charlton Regional School Committee is now in session. It is Wednesday, July 12th. It is 7:05 p.m. and we're at the Shepherd Hill Regional High School Library. We'll all stand, pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting of Wednesday, June 28th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. It's unanimous. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the executive session of Wednesday, June 28th.
So
I'd like
moved.
to put a hold on them. I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, to go into executive session.
All right, so we'll put a hold on that. Approval of the warrant. Do we have a warrant this evening?
Yes, you do.
Yes, we do. Okay. Citizens Forum. Anyone this evening that would like to address us? Okay. This is going to be fast. Communications, Mr. Desto.
None tonight, Mrs. O'Connor.
Okay, and I don't have any. How about the members? No? Okay. Superintendent's report, Mr. Desto.
I hate to break the momentum, but I have a bunch of stuff, so I'll get right to it.
Make it quick.
I'll speak quickly like that guy in the commercials with the auctioneer. Just wanted to send a quick reminder that we do have several summer camps still available, space still available for the remainder of the summer. We have both Sports Academy and the STEAM camps going, and I just would ask anybody listening or anybody here, if you see anybody who's interested, let them know that on the website, as you open the page, right to the right as you're looking at the screen, are the links to the schedules, and there are several great offerings there. There's also a full day option with the Sports Academies. And then I also wanted to throw out one quick plug that this Friday night, right, Mrs. Harris, is STEAM night at the Worcester Bravehearts, and again, that's to the left side of the website, but it's also on the front page if people are looking for more information, and it's going to be a great time. I mean, it's broken up very nicely. I'll try to do my best, but you feel free if you need to correct me. There's going to be some STEAM activities, some learning about how to connect science and mathematics and technology and how it helps with baseball and things of that nature. There'll be a meet and greet with the players, and we have a Shepherd Hill grad, a recent grad, who is one of their better pitchers. Hopefully he'll be pitching Friday night. I should look it up, and I would know by now, but Sebastian Grzecki, hopefully they'll send him out to meet some of our kids, and then, of course, the ball game. So that's this Friday night, and if interested, it is on the website. How'd I do with that, okay?
Very good.
All right.
All our tickets are gone, but you could, I'm sure, still go and
All our tickets are gone? Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. If somebody were to want to go, though, we could involve them in the group, I'm sure, right? Okay. As the committee knows, we're in the process of hiring still a number of teachers and support positions, but we've got the lion's share of the work done. In your package tonight is the most recently updated hiring chart. There's been a lot of activity this year. As of currently, we have 16 new faces to the district, not including administration. So 16 new staff in the district, including 7 Shepherd Hill graduates. So it's nice to be continuing to do that, to have our community be educating the future educators of our community. Our principals have been doing an incredible job of staying on top of it, and wherever possible, we've attempted to ensure financial savings, and I believe we'll come out ahead on this, and possibly significantly so. But I hold off on saying that for certain because, as you know, and I know as you agree from years past, if all things are equal or close to equal, we can go in that direction, but we have to hire the best people for the kids, and we've always done that. So if you have any questions about that as you look through it, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can, if I'm not sure of how to answer it, I'll get an answer for you. Just to let the committee know, our district administrative retreat has been scheduled for August 8th and 9th. These will be full days during which we will review our progress with the strategic plan, set goals for the year, develop our main areas of emphasis for teacher evaluation, and a myriad of other things, including hopefully a little bit of fun. This year, Mrs. Allen and I, along with Mrs. Aris, are looking into some options for actually making it an off-campus retreat. We've reached out to Nichols College and the local public libraries as an opportunity to get away from some distractions and be able to really sit down for, 16 hours and really get some work done. Because when we do it here, it's very easy for us to get pulled away for other reasons. Just very quickly, I mentioned in that the strategic plan, and it seems impossible, but this September it will have been a year and a half since we last updated the strategic plan, and that means we need to get back to the drawing board again here pretty soon. So by our August meeting, it is my hope to have a plan for what the district leaders feel is the best way to progress, and then to get the committee's input on that, whether we revise it from scratch, revise or start from scratch, whether we involve the whole community again, or whether we just kind of keep it in-house like we did with the last update. There are still several meaningful and unfulfilled things in the plan, so I know that the entire plan does not need to be done from scratch, but that's something we can talk about later on. And then also want to mention that Mrs. Allen and I met with some representatives today from the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which goes by the term NAMI. And they're going to be offering, we're happy to report that they're going to be offering a course for families in our community whose children may be struggling with mental illness or showing signs of mental illness. You don't have to have your child does not have to have had a diagnosis. More information will be forthcoming, but it looks like it's a 6-week course that will run from September 20th to November 1st. And first time he's heard it, but it'll be right here at Shepherd Hill. I approved that, Bill, sorry, I went over you on that one. But really, we are happy to be able to bring this kind of thing in-house. And we were kind of surprised to hear that they were amazed that we wanted them here. It's like they have faced some resistance. And I said, no, we definitely want to offer the resource to our community and hope that some of the families will take advantage of it. These are the people who did the presentation towards the end of the school year. That was pretty well attended. About 20, 25 people showed up at Charlton Middle School. So we're thrilled to be able to offer it, to let some of our families know that they're not alone and support is out there for their children and for themselves. And I will just add that 2 of the presenters are former teachers of mine from high school, and I can attest that they run a productive course. And I just hope that they don't tell any more stories like they told Lorinda today.
They must be old.
Well, I won't use that word, but they've got a lot. They're experienced educators, and they've got some stories about me scraping gum off the bottom of desks and other things like that I hope they'll keep to themselves from now on. But really, we are happy to have them in, and more information will be forthcoming on that. I think that's enough.
Okay, that concludes it. Any questions for Mr. Desta? All right, that brings us up to new business. Director of Finance and Operations update, and that's Mr. Matthew.
Thank you very much. Just an update on the IT equipment lease. The leasing company did agree to the final change. We do have a draft of the contract from them that's been approved by our legal counsel, and we're waiting just for the final paperwork to sign off. The equipment's been ordered and actually has been landing very quickly, including this week. So the turnaround time is much better than anticipated. So I think we'll be in excellent shape to start the year there. Just a couple of quick notes about the next meeting. I'll hopefully bring forward the FY17 end of year information at the August meeting, and have an update on the first parent app for busing. Their regional general manager is on vacation till the middle of next week, but I'll get an update after that. And then just one last note on the FY18 budget. It's gone through conference committee. Our final numbers are reflective of what the Senate had approved, which was about $30,000 less for regional transportation than we had in our budget. The offsetting good news is that we have about a $39,000 surplus that will be going into the regional transportation revolving account from FY17, and as a result, at the August meeting, I'll bring forward a revised budget showing that that balance will come from there, assuming the governor's budget is what's currently published. But we don't have that final information just yet.
That concludes.
That is all I have for this evening.
Thank you.
Mrs. O'Connor, if I may just add one thing to the busing. We talked about the opt-out form last time and how there really hadn't been too many takers on that. I suppose it's kind of a one-way deal. There's something in it for us. What's in it for them? What's in it for them is better funding for their school district. But We have now posted that opt-out form on the website, and soon I'll be doing a call to the families. I'm debating what the right time is for that call, but I suppose there is no perfect time, and I should just get down to it. But I'll be letting the community, the people at Charlton Middle School, know that that form is on there, and that if they are almost never or never going to have their children taking the bus, and they already know that, then we would really appreciate their help on this. It's something that, it's an idea whose time has come, and maybe we can make it work.
Yeah, we did get at least one more sign up since last time we met. So it's incremental, but
Very incremental.
change is sometimes slow. But again, it's hopefully something that will result in real savings for us at some point in time.
Are we pushing that for all grades or middle school only? What do we decide?
The experiment is at Charlton Middle
Just the
School
middle-
only.
Just Charlton
Yeah.
Middle, we're not trying anybody else?
Not just yet, not just yet. But again, we did do it for the high school and the 200 or so kids that drive in.
Right.
There's no reason to reserve a spot for them, so.
The reason we chose Charlton Middle School, I think the committee's aware, other people may not be. Charlton Middle is the only school that has its own tier of buses. They're the only kids on those buses are grades 5 to 8 in Charlton, so it made the most sense to start there.
Any questions? Any other questions? Okay, that brings us up to a report of the Budget and Finance Subcommittee, but there was, we didn't have a meeting, did we?
No,
On that?
no, we
Do
did
you
not.
have anything to?
Yes, very quickly, we do have some movement there on that front. I want to just reiterate, as I said at the last meeting, that Mr. Matthew and I will be meeting with Mark Abrams and the town administrators on August 16th at 10 a.m. And ahead of that, we had wanted to schedule a first Budget and Finance Subcommittee, which we have now done for August 10th at 9 a.m. in the district office conference room. So again, August 10th, 9 a.m. will be our first subcommittee meeting, and it will help Mr. Matthew and I heading into that meeting with the town administrators. So we appreciate people trying to be available for that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, next item is school committee meeting broadcasts. What do we have on that, Mr. Desktop?
Thank you, Mrs. O'Coin. So I have, as I included in the package, in conferring with Mr. D'Arcangelo about what's the, I guess the most efficient is the best way to say this, way for us to be able to get our broadcasts into a venue that people are going to see and that we would have control of. And because that's been really the challenge with, we get the document and we send it off to the towns, and then we don't have complete control over what happens from there. We want to make sure that we have control over where it goes, and we can say to our families, tell them where they can find the meeting should they want to. So let me get to the bottom line. Mr. D'Arcangelo and I agree that creating our own YouTube channel as a district may be our best option. And there may be some complications here that have to be worked out. I have spoken to Mr. Earl about this, and certainly Mr. Earl has the ability to make this happen, but it's going to definitely require he and I, along with Mr. D'Arcangelo, to sit down and discuss the sort of the technical logistics of how we convert the files and those kinds of things. But ultimately, at the end of that, what we hope to have is our own YouTube channel where we can post our school committee meetings, which I can then post just the link to YouTube to the district website with a note if I have to. I can also put it to Twitter and Facebook and places where a lot of parents look more often than they do the website. We can also use the YouTube channel for other things. It doesn't have to be just for school committee meetings. So if it's a district channel, we can have highlights of a show or whatever. I mean, we can use it for whatever we want, and I think it could be an efficient way of getting a message out to us in a year that is going to see us needing to do that as often, as importantly as we ever have. So that's basically it. As I said, I spoke with Mr. Earl, and we're going to need to definitely work out some of the technical stuff, but we think we can play around with it, possibly using the June 28th meeting, which was very short, as an experimental one, so that if Mr. Earl is having difficulties, he's only having difficulties with a half hour instead of 2 hours. All I really want is the committee to give me the green light to go forward with that. I don't really think it requires a vote, but I know that there are people on the committee who have some technical experience, and if you wanted to add your input, it would be a good time to do so.
It sounds like a good idea, though. I think that's,
Do we know of other districts that do this?
I'm sure there are, Joe. Honestly, I haven't looked into that. Mr. Packard does it at Charlton Middle,
Right.
so I know he's very familiar with it. I think Mr. Stashevsky has used this mechanism at Tantascwa. So we've got some people who know how to help us with this, but I do think it bears looking at another district that does it well, and I
Right.
will be reaching out to try to look into that. I'm sure there's some.
Any other questions? Okay, that brings us up to the evaluation of the superintendent. So, Mr. Desto shared his goals with all of us, and that helped us to evaluate his progress. And so I compiled everyone's evaluation, and I got an average. And I will read evaluation remarks, okay? And I know we made comments, and I did talk to Anne Marie, and she said anybody can go and look at what each other has written, so she didn't type all the comments out like she has done in the past. So if you would like a copy, you can call the central office and get a copy, or just go online. You have the passwords to see the comments. Okay? So for the 2016-2017 evaluation, I'll read the standards and then what we gave for the evaluation, the average. So we started off with goals for Standard 1, and that is instructional leadership. And we had 1 exceeded and 6 met, so we have an average of met. Standard 2, that's management and operations. We had 6 met and significant progress 1, so we have an average again of met. Standard 3 is family and community engagement, and we had 3 exceeded and 3 met and 1 significant progress, so another average of met. Standard 4, progress rating. We had 3 exceeded, we had 4 met, so we came up with the average of met again. Step 2 is the assess performance on each standard. Standard 1, again, is the instructional leadership. We had 1 exemplary and 6 proficient. It's proficient. Overall rating for Standard 2. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by ensuring a safe, efficient, and effective learning environment using resources to implement appropriate curriculum, staffing, and scheduling, and we had 7 proficient there. And I'll go back to Standard 1 because I didn't read the overall standard. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by cultivating a shared vision that makes powerful teaching and learning the central focus of schooling. And again, I'll just repeat, 1 exemplary and 6 proficient. Standard 3, family and community engagement. The education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff through effective partnerships with families, community organizations, and other stakeholders that support the mission of the school and district. 3 exemplary and 4 proficient, so it's proficient again. Standard 4, the education leader promotes the learning and growth of all students and the success of all staff by nurturing and sustaining a school-wide culture of reflective practice, high expectations, and continuous learning for staff. Exemplary 3 and proficient 4 it's proficient. And the overall rating is 7 proficient. And that concludes our evaluation.
So I'll do like the parents do when they get the standard space report card. So is that a B? No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone want to add anything?
You want to see any of our comments?
If you want to, go ahead.
Doesn't matter.
If anybody wants to read comment, but if you want to read comments, you can go online to read them, or if you want to share any of them.
Well, I think it's nice to say a few things. I'll say a couple. Under this was under standard 2 proficient, I said, while it's often noted that, quote, money drives everything, I think the superintendent with the rest of the district decides what is needed first for the district and then tackles the money issue, which I think is an important way to address the problem. You go for what is best and then try to seek the funding. And I also said he's a strong guiding hand during the terrible tragedies we had this past school year, and that the district is in good hands.
Anyone else?
I'll read a little bit.
Go ahead.
Mr. Desto deeply cares about the students, staff, and the district as a whole. It has been a very challenging year from a number of perspectives. Throughout all that transpired, Mr. Desto was a visible, approachable, supportive, and steady leader and sound decision maker. He continuously strives to improve upon things and find creative solutions to getting what needs to be done accomplished in a better way. One of his many strengths is his effective listening skills and recognizing that the best answers often come from bouncing ideas off of others, unexpected sources, and thinking about things from a different perspective. His honest, open, and intelligent approach and his genuine caring of people builds trust and rapport that is so necessary for this position and all that needs to be accomplished.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay, and I'll read my overall. And it's, Greg sets an example to all with his positive attitude and with his strong work ethic. He is always promoting for continuous growth and strengthening of our district's curriculum, so our students have the best opportunities and experiences to learn and achieve. Greg continues to prove himself as an effective leader for our district.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Might I say a word or two?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I remember years ago when Mrs. Cabala will certainly remember when Jim Leland was the manager of the Florida Marlins and they won the World Series, and I'll never forget what he said. He just simply, when they, he was manager of the year or something, and he just simply said something like, "I'm the beneficiary of the people who work for me," and that's it. I want to thank the committee first for your feedback. I've read it, and will continue to do so. Whether it's positive, constructive, or whatever, I take it all in, and I'll look at it as I formulate my goals for next year. There's no question. It's hard to believe that we're going on year 4 now. For the most part, we've been together as a leadership group, both with the administration and with the school committee, and I feel like we've, with a lot of help from an outstanding staff, and let's face it, some really good kids who walk in our doors by no real fault of our own. We've done a lot of good things together, and we've had to weather some tough storms, and we've done so, and I appreciate your support on that. All of you know how hard any job in this business is, but it is one of the, if not the great privilege of my life to have been chosen to do this, and I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me. And I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm going to keep on working really hard to try to make this place better. So I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us up to consideration of requests for home instruction, policy IHBG. Mr. Desto.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Coin. So I have, although I would anticipate that there's going to be more coming in throughout the summer, as of right now, I have 2 renewal requests and 3 new requests that Sandy and I have reviewed carefully, and we believe that they certainly meet the criteria for our policy and for a good homeschool program, and I would recommend your approval.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the home requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries, it's unanimous. Next meeting dates, Wages and Benefits Subcommittee, Thursday, July 13th, at the district office, and that will be at 12 p.m. Regular meetings, Wednesday, August 16th, and that will be at the Charlton Middle School at 7 p.m. Future agenda items for FY 2018 budget, that will be on it. Anyone else?
Mrs. O'Coin, if I may, I just want to add that we are going to have a budget subcommittee meeting. We didn't get it
Oh,
by the
okay.
time the agenda went out.
And when
But
is
that'll
that?
be August 10th at 9 a.m.,
Okay.
district office.
How can I forget that? That's my birthday.
Oh, wow. That's my sister's
Okay,
birthday, too.
Pauline.
And then as far as agenda items, we got the budget, we'll have non-resident enrollment requests, and we will probably have a few more homeschool requests, and we'll have strategic plan discussion on there.
Okay, thank you. And who else? Any other members? And there's always time to just add on, okay? Now, at this time, we're going to be entering into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to litigation or collective bargaining if an open session may have detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, only to reconvene into regular session to take votes if necessary and adjourn. Now I will take a roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes. We're in executive session.